Welcome back, it's me, Jackal, guys, and today we have another awesome, super epic, super cool world box video. You read the title. I mean, we are going to put 100 advanced geniuses versus 1,000 primitive, low technology, resourceless idiots. But I guess I should explain some more because that's kind of a vague title. Let me explain exactly what's going on here today. So, as you can see, you probably don't really know what you're looking at. On the left, it looks like some sort of art canvas, and on the right, it looks just like a green line. But what's actually here is on the right, we have some people, and these people will be the geniuses. Wait, that's just their village name, hold up. The geniuses, empire. We'll make them blue. And basically, the reason why these geniuses are already spawned in while my primitive 1000 guys are not spawned in yet is because the geniuses are going to be high-tech and advanced, so I'm going to give them some time to expand. However, for the meantime, I'm going to go into their subspecies and limit them to just 100, because remember, it starts with 100. Now, the population may grow when we spawn the other guys in, and you'll see what I mean when I do that, but for right now, the geniuses are at 100. That's basically how this is going to work. We're going to wait 200 years to give the geniuses some time to grow and expand. This gives them time to get more technology, and then we are going to spawn in our 1,000 idiots, and they're only going to have 100 years to expand, but during that 100 years, the right side, the geniuses, will continue to expand. But there's more than just geniuses technology. The geniuses are also going to get a bunch of resources placed down throughout the video, while the idiots will have the occasional resources that spawn naturally, but I'm not giving them a thing. They get nothing. However, the idiots will have one big advantage, and that is birth and population. Because if we look at the geniuses right here, you'll notice that their gestation period is extremely long. It's 50. Which means that these people in this village are pregnant almost 5 years, 50 months, which actually is more like 4 years, but you get the idea. However, when we spawn the idiots, you'll see the gestation period is going to be instant. So if there's anything else I need to explain, I'll explain it later, but that's essentially the gist. So ultimately, this is going to come down to population versus technology. Basically, who's going to win if you just throw a bunch of people with wood sticks and spears against like a Marine Corps platoon? But it's a lot of people, so who knows? But anyway, let's give the geniuses some time to expand. It's year 2. Like I said, let's give them to year 200. Also, the geniuses have the enchanted biome, but I didn't know what biome to give the idiots, so I just placed like all the biomes down, and they're gonna like fight over it, so you can watch that in the time lapse too. Let's speed up time, and let's begin. And here we are at year 200. The Genius Empire somehow went above 100 for a second, if you saw that. They also split up, but I, ended that pretty quickly. But yeah, they're right around 100, and let's look. Yep, see, they're pretty advanced. They have a nice little village. Their entire land is covered in gold because they're in the enchanted biome. I actually need to put some more resources down. I want to do a lot of adamantium because they love adamantium. I guess we're probably good on gold. Mithril, ore deposits, silver. These guys are living sweet, and these guys are now pretty developed already. They're doing pretty good, but just because they're, developed doesn't mean we stop there. So let's go ahead and get rid of their population limit so they can grow and expand. And now it's time to make the idiots. So now we just hold shift, and I'll be back when there's 1,000 of these guys. So here's our little guys here, and we are going to go into their subspecies. So I gave the geniuses hyper-intelligence and fast builders, but yeah, these guys aren't going to get that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to give them the slow builders straight. But as for everything else, it's all going to remain the same except for goodbye gestation. So we're going to rename the idiots to, let's think of an original cool name. There we go, perfect. And in birth editor, we will give them stupid. But more than just that, we're going to go into their specific genealogy, and we're not going to change a thing except for one. We are going to take every little intelligence thing they have right here, and we are going to replace it with offspring. And we're going to take another one. We'll take one of these. There's a bunch of like +1 healths that aren't doing anything, and boom, more offspring. And for these two, how about we go birth rate? And take one more here. We'll go with attack this time, birth rate. Now these guys are ready to reproduce. Kind of a weird thing to say. Actually, I missed one thing. We need to go into one of these trait reigns and make sure everyone already spawned in is already stupid. Now they're all stupid. And with the press of the button, they all spread out, kill everything. It appears like most of them just died. So let me respawn some of them. There must have been some animals living. Oh, it's probably the ostriches. I need to deal with these ostriches first, and then we'll be good. Okay, so I just made the ostriches really weak so they would die immediately by replacing pretty much all of their stats with diplomacy. So now they have pretty much no attack power and no health at all, but they are very diplomatic, so they can probably work their way out of this, I'm assuming. No, their population's actually plummeting. Yeah, they're done for. Well, the idiots have died quickly, but let us make their name the Idiot Empire. And I spelled it wrong on purpose because, get it, they're stupid. That's a good joke right there. That's a great joke. 10 out of 10 on the jokeometer. And now we just let them expand for a bit. The geniuses have already begun expanding, but we will give these guys approximately 100 years till year 300, and then we will start the war. I think it's honestly going to be very close. Let's look at their intelligence. Literally nothing. These guys have no skills at all. I guess they're pretty good at warfare. They're kind of strong, honestly. But no intelligence, no stewardship, no diplomacy. They're going to have to go ask the ostriches for some of that because they have nothing. I'm actually going to look around right now and try to see if I can find a single person with a 1 intelligence. After my very conclusive and good data search of checking about 10 people, no, none of them have any intelligence at all. The Idiot Empire, by the way, they could just plummet in population when we check. I don't know, but they seem to be struggling over here, so they're all just on fire. Okay, well anyway, it is time to sim to year 300 where we will begin the war. Okay. Pause the time lapse. Yeah, I know. I literally have diplomacy turned off and the idiots somehow formed another kingdom. That's just how stupid they are. How is that even possible? They literally probably just forgot they were part of a kingdom and formed their new one. Kind of annoying, but declare war. Okay, here we go. Back to the time lapse. And there we are at year 300. I was kind of worried that the Idiot Empire right here was dropping in population still, probably because of their own stupidity. But it looks like they've figured it out sooner or later, and now they have a bunch of houses, but yet they, let me take a look at like their army or something. Yeah, a wood bow. This guy's a wood stick. Not the best stuff. And let's take a look at the Genius Empire. Adamantium armor, adamantium bow, a legendary, mithril spear, silver spear. These guys in the geniuses are good, not to mention, despite their very long gestation period, they literally have over 1,000 people now, which is really good. And neither of these sides have actually expanded fully into their territory yet, so maybe we should have given them more time, but I really think these guys are ready to go. Looking at some stats here, the Idiot Empire can not hold as many people as they are holding. They're only supposed to hold around 900 people. I guarantee you they're living in like little shabby shacks right here that like stiff breeze would knock them over. But on the geniuses side, they have nice, stable, suburban, family, super cool, awesome, destroyed homes. The geniuses have 340 soldiers, while the idiots have 550, so idiots have that advantage on everything over there. But let's look at some interesting people before we start this conflict. So surprisingly, the most known and highest level are both idiots. The most known is this dude, Stetafu, with 8 kills somehow, probably from like the ostrich war of earlier. And the highest level is the king of the idiots, who has no intelligence. The richest is unsurprisingly from the geniuses and all their wealth. And also, unsurprisingly, the most children and most births are from the idiots. Most children is 31. So this dude, Stetafu, who we've seen earlier, let's look at his kids. These are all his kids. Plus, see, every single one here is one of his children. Yeah, these guys know how to expand. Look at all the little jumpy guys. It's like a little party going on here. Ignorance is bliss. The happiest is also all idiots. But the smartest, unsurprisingly, is on the genius side. The fastest is one of the idiots, and the strongest is, pretty much unsurprisingly, one of the geniuses too, because they're better armor. Honestly, it's a lot more split than I thought. This war is actually going to be pretty close. You know, now that I'm thinking about it, the idiots kind of have a lot in common with Australia. Like, they live in a desert mostly. They fought against a bunch of flightless birds a few minutes ago, and they're also stupid. The last part's a joke, guys. I'm joking. Please don't unsubscribe. Please don't. It was a joke. Please don't dislike. Anyway, no more dillying, nor dallying. Let's begin this war. We're going to take some sand just so it's obvious when troops are crossing. We're going to put it right here at one area. And then we're going to put another sand thing up here on the top. I want to see if any troop uses sand up here to like flank around their enemy. But now the two sides have been exposed to each other. They see the staunch differences on both sides. And they decide to declare war. And in the year 300, war has been declared. War population is 2,600. Angry villagers owned. This is a fight to the death on both sides. And let us begin. Armies from both sides. Look at all those war lines. They're ready to charge in the battle. The idiots are striking first. They're sending their army in first. They're sending a lot of people in. And just for more carnage, both sides are also racist. And this is actually a really cool graphic here to see where people are. I'm using the culture tab and using their two colors. You can actually see the idiots charging in and overflowing the geniuses. The idiots are absolutely wrecking this village of Chimeri right here. But it looks like, see, the geniuses have equipment like bows, which they can use to easily kill most of the idiots. The idiots' attack is still going on here. Oh, wow. There's an idiot army coming from the north up here. They're going to flank this army in Noford, and I don't even see their army here. The idiots are actually making a very good move, I think. Down here, this first city of Chimeri is getting absolutely wrecked by the idiot army, who's still charging in. Issue here is, yeah, the idiot empire, because of how stupid they are and they all have no equipment, they can afford to just throw people into the meat grinder right here. While the Genius Empire, every time they lose a person here in the city of Chimeri, it takes them a long time to get that person back because of their, population. It was 1,500 to 1,000. Now the idiots have nearly double the geniuses do, and over double the amount of army as well. I'm genuinely surprised that the geniuses have not been able to fend off. I think they've gone through all their adamantium, so let's give them a quick refresh here, because they are supposed to get constant flows of resources. Let's put a bunch of adamantium on the backside for them to use, if they can even process it in time. It does look like the geniuses are finally starting to fend off, like, all the attacks right here. It seems like they have been able to repel attacks, even on the top side too. So now the geniuses can try to regain their strength slowly because of their population and begin pressing over to the idiots. I mean, look how fast the idiots' population regrows when they lose someone. It's like that. Like, you can't even see it goes up. It just like skips by like 5 or 6 at a time. While the genius one barely is going up at all. The war's been going on just over 10 years now, and already 700 people have died. Interestingly, a lot more have died on the genius side than on the idiot empire side. So as of right now, it really looks like the idiot empire is winning pretty easily, actually. I thought it really wouldn't even be close. I honestly thought the geniuses would absolutely wreck these guys. But now the geniuses, they're starting to gather an army, and there's a big conflict right here at the gate. And the king of the Genius Empire was slain by this dude Soap. And why is he over here? Was our king in this village? That's not a very smart move, I don't think. The idiots are really just kind of going through, just pushing around the geniuses. They still have 120 troops, but the idiot empire is getting stronger and stronger, and even their population gap is dropping. They're building more houses. It seems like the geniuses can't replace their losses that fast because of their gestation period. And despite the geniuses' head start, the idiots' villages are actually starting to get pretty advanced. They look pretty good now. I'm sorry for calling you Australia. You're way better than Australia now. Jokes again, jeez, dude. And the war seems to be at around a stalemate here. The idiot empire has around 3 times the population than the geniuses. Oh, no longer a stalemate. The first village of the genius empire just got killed. We're speeding up even faster here. And look at the idiots are like actually pretty smart with their tactics. They keep sending people down, and they're about to take a village. They just took this village, which is hard to do with angry villagers on, but it's still possible. But the reason this is big is because look, now the idiots have access to all of these resources. Also, not to mention, every member of this village here is a genius too, so that helps their cause even more. The geniuses are starting to crumble. They still have 100 soldiers somehow, but they're just not using them. And look how many idiot troops are just flowing through the middle on their way to go deal with the geniuses. The war's been going on 30 years, so let's check the war stats. 1,400 total have died. The idiot empire's only lost 570, while the genius empire has lost 900. I guess the death number difference here is probably because the idiots have, brutally slain a bunch of civilians. Innocent civilians too, so that's not that good. The war's not over yet. Oh. The geniuses were taking this village. Oh, they're taking it back again? No, never mind. Yeah, maybe? No. Okay. I guess we should just check interesting people now. So I'm mainly trying to look at most kills here, which is this guy who's not even part of the army named Jassner, who has 7 kills with his big ol' steel hammer here. I mean, geniuses are still very powerful. It's just, yeah, look at their population numbers. They're all getting murdered. and every other stat here is all idiots except for obviously smartest, because you know the idiots are kind of stupid. Even strongest, look at this, the strongest person in the world, Toma, can deal up to 96 damage, and she has adamantium armor equipped. And you know how she got this? Look right there, made from the Genius's Empire. The idiots were able to get far enough ahead that now they don't even need resources or intelligence, because they just kill all the people with all the resources, intelligence, and they get it for themselves. All their villages are pretty much destroyed. They're actually about to lose their main village here. The idiots are just getting stronger. The geniuses, with all their resources and 200 years of preparation time, no less. Look at their villages, just a wreck. The idiots just came through. They didn't know what was going on. They just smashed everything with a giant hammer. And the idiots are down to just their last 3 villages. I guess resources isn't everything, and you know, population can really make a difference here when you just throw people at the attackers. Down to just their last 2 villages here, and they barely have any people. And right before the war ends, with literally 1 person left in the Genius Empire, we're gonna check some final war stats here. And the war ended, geez, I didn't even check that long ago. 2,200 deaths, almost 1,400 from the geniuses, over 800 from the idiots. And I'm looking at interesting people, I'm guessing, and yep, for once, the smartest person is part of the idiot empire, along with literally everyone else now. And as we press unpause, the Genius Empire gets literally destroyed as everyone's dead. And I'm looking at subspecies. I'm trying to see if there's any geniuses left. There's over 2,000 idiots now. Pressing unpause just creates this spaghetti mess. Oh, I see them. The Genius Sapiens right here. It's almost impossible to find them, but there are 23 Genius Sapiens left. Naturally, all of them are part of the Idiot Empire now, but at least they're still alive. Maybe one day they could make the ultimate comeback, but yeah, definitely not today. And the Idiot Empire reigns supreme, and that'll be where today's video ends. I want to thank you guys for watching, and if you enjoy content like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and shout out to Oblivion, my only channel member, because I'm so lonely and alone, jeez. As of when I'm recording this, there may be more. If I missed you, my bad, that's on me. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell.